Everyone, this is Wisdom Agorom, and this is the demo marathon for longest speech marathon by an individual. This is a Guinness World Record attempt, and this is basically the practice. So we're just doing a record sake so we can actually store the video for future purposes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, so we'll be going through. We have to check to ensure it's charging. So I have my cards, and basically I'll be talking from the top of my head. Basically that's like the criteria that is needed, right? So the idea is you could have little cards, notes that will guide, or every other thing should come from memory. So let's get started. My name once again is Wisdom Agorom. I'm glad you're here. So first off, we're going to be talking about our existence, right? You and I have our existence here on earth, and our existence here on earth is as important as what we are here to do, because every one of us here is here for a period and is here for a reason, right? And if you're unable to clearly articulate why you are here, there won't be a reason you will not be here, right? Because it's as important as every other thing that's within and around all of what we're about. Now watch this. Um, the purpose of your existence. Let me sit down and explain this. I hope I can be heard really. The purpose of your existence really is purely and firstly in the place of there's an assignment that you're supposed to. I know I talk like this, I'm actually very tense. Alright, welcome back. Is it still working? Oh, okay, good. So, first off, we want to say that every one of us here is born for a purpose. And discovering what that purpose is about is basically what your life is about. And your inability to discover that purpose will actually make you keep roaming. Right? And when you keep roaming, you actually do. Please don't whisper. You're closest to the phone again. Don't whisper again. Move away. Don't talk. You don't know this network. Alright. Whatever thing you do it with all diligence. Whatever thing you do it with all diligence, regardless of whether you have discovered your purpose or not. And then the idea, therefore, is that most of us will actually not be an Aaron, most of us will not actually be a Moses. But whether you're a Moses or you're an Aaron, it's important that you realize that there is a purpose for which you are here. And that purpose is far more important than every other thing that your life is about, that you think your life is about. Because we're not here to just go to school, get a degree, get married, bear children, and that's it. No, our life is beyond all of that. Everyone has an assignment. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has something that you are supposed to do. And you finding that and zoning into that is what is required. Right? Finding that and zoning into that is what is required. I mentioned two characters earlier from the greatest book that's ever been written, which is called the Holy Bible. That's I mentioned Moses and I mentioned Aaron. I'm going to explain that clearly for you. Now, Moses is considered to be a leader, right? Aaron is supposed to be an assistant, right? So when we put this in perspective, now you clearly understand that not everyone is a born leader. Not everyone is born to actually lead an idea, a concept, or a vision. Some people are born to support whoever that is leading that vision. That is why some people are actually, that's like the assignment. And usually what happens is, because I know you've heard people say, business people, coaches, entrepreneurs, even motivational speakers will tell you, oh, you cannot actually be very rich working for someone. But because someone failed in an attempt of trying to be rich while working for someone, doesn't mean there isn't there any people who had actually succeeded in working for someone and end up being the millionaires and billionaires. I tell you their records, right? And then that's the problem I have usually with people. People get to teach experiences instead of teaching principles. Principles are universal, experiences are peculiar. Principles are universal, experiences are peculiar. When you teach the peculiarity of your experience, you actually zone the rest of us inside that your experience. Instead of teaching the principles that is capable of birthing experiences for anybody and everybody, you now teach the peculiarity of your experience, which is a limiting view. I dare say limiting view, because I believe that all you have heard is not all that can be heard. All you have seen is not all that can be seen. All you have understood is not all that can be understood. Right? So when you put that in perspective, you understand that principles are universal. Principles are universal, right? And experiences are peculiar, right? So when people are unable to achieve something, they now say it is not possible. And then because they are able to gather some level of following, and then they keep saying all these things, and people tend to believe it, which is quite unfortunate, right? So tonight what I want to tell you is this. Every one of us is created for a purpose. Sometimes your purpose might not be to run a vision. Probably your purpose might actually be to support someone in running their vision. Do you understand that? And then when you understand that clearly, you're now able to understand that not everyone that Habakkuk 2:4 is for. Not everyone is supposed to what? Stand and wait for the vision and receive the vision and write it on tablet, and so everyone that reads it will run. Not everyone that is for. You understand that? So when you are clear on that, you will no longer be you no longer fall under the pressure of wanting to now discover purpose by looking for your own vision. So excuse me. Now, one way for you to actually discover purpose or make yourself very useful is actually doing all that you are, all your hand find it to do, doing it diligently. When you're able to do whatever your hand find it to do diligently, you have actually found a way to succeed in a particular area. Because this is what I say, right? I consider that as the instance of a train, right? Now we have a train that is in motion, and then we have a train that is just leaving the train station. Which of them has more momentum? Of course, the one that is already in motion. So I say, therefore, whether you have found out why you are here on earth or not, find someone who is doing something, who is impactful, who is actually being a blessing to humans and to society, and work with that individual, whoever that person is. Now, what you get to experience and what you get as benefit for doing that is that you've actually started gaining momentum. You're no longer, when you finally get to discover what your life is about, you are not starting from ground zero. You've already started gaining momentum, you started gaining relevance, you gained experience, you are hands on, you know what it takes to set up events, you know what it takes to put all that arrangement together. You are not just starting up from ground zero. That is an advantage that you literally cannot buy with money. Right? So when you understand that, you understand clearly that it's important that you find yourself, attach yourself to a vision, and get started. Whatever thing your hand find it to do it with all diligence. Right? I hope I've been able to help you in that direction. So the idea therefore is, right, that every one of us may not be a vision bearer, but every one of us can be a vision bearer. It just depends on what your life purpose is about. If your life purpose is to become a vision bearer, why not? If your life purpose is supposed to follow and to help and assist who the vision bearer is, beautiful. But beyond all of that is you finding somewhere to get your hands busy. Do not stay idle. Indolence is a crime. Do not stay idle. Get involved. Do something. Join those who are changing the world. If you don't know how to want to change your world yet, join those who are doing it and then get busy. Right? Staying idle doesn't actually help anyone. And then our amazing book will tell us that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So you don't want to be a workshop. Your mind, you wouldn't want your mind to be a workshop where a lot of news has to be fashioned against humanity. So get yourself busy, get your hands busy, and you'll be glad you did. This is my counsel to you, and I'm hoping you take it serious and actually get busy with what's happening. Now I want to talk to you about something else, right? Now, everyone's life is a stage. Your life is a stage. I hope you can imagine a stage, like theater setting, where you have someone performing on stage, and then you have all the lights in the theater hall being turned on, and then you have what is called a spotlight, whether delivering a speech, doing poetry, making singing, or whatever presentation, and then every other light in the hall, in the theater hall, goes off, and the only light that we can see is the light that is being on the person who is doing the act, who is like the main act, and then that light is called a spotlight. That's the same way your life is a stage, right? And everyone is watching you. The spotlight beams on you at the break of dawn every single day. Everyone is watching you. People are taking notes. People are trying to understand what you are about, right? And then one thing I want you to also realize is yes, the person who is on stage has the spotlight on he or her, but one thing is sure, whoever is on stage that